Shweta, please wait a minute.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Shweta, you can start now.
Okay, so a warm and hearty welcome to one and all present here. I am SM Shweta, student from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, here to volunteer for today's session on behalf of St. Joseph's Institute of Technology. I welcome you all to this auspicious event of Introduction to Python Programming and Machine Learning. It's my immense pleasure to welcome today's speaker, Mr. S. Kamlesh, currently working in the field of Django framework. Completed his higher education in BTech, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. He acquired great knowledge in firmware like Anaconda Navigator, PyCharm, Python Idle, and technical skills like C programming and Python. He has experience of 3 years and above in data science, machine learning, and deep learning. He has better knowledge in Keras, TensorFlow, NLP, and Flask development of projects with upgrade technologies, having a good technical strength in implementation of projects and conducting workshops in colleges like Mahavar Institute of Science and Technology, Hyderabad, Buchreddy Engineering College for Women, Hyderabad, and Methodist College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. Being a prolific speaker and a trainer with a knack of explaining things with utter simplicity, I request our guest to take over the session successfully. Welcome, sir. You can take over the session.
Yeah, thank you for the nice introduction.
My
And
pleasure, sir.
thank you for all connecting this wonderful webinar or workshop on machine learning. Definitely, I will give you uh, knowledge about machine learning and both deep learning. So you have to first of all follow what I will just give the introduction. For example, in this day, I will just give the introduction to like what are the tools I am using, how what is machine learning and what is deep learning, and then like what is Python, why we are using Python. So I will give every theoretical session, every theoretical part of in this first day itself. Why? Because if we learn something, if we learn means we need to learn thoroughly. So that's why on next day onwards, I am going to teach you in fully on technical session only. Okay. So the session in this 5 day session, I am going to teach you only one theoretical session, that is today, and the balance 4 days will be a mostly technical session only. So if you have like Python ideally or Anaconda Navigator in your PC, you can work on it. But don't worry about applications and all. I will use Google Colab only. I will show you how to use Google Colab and everything in this today's session itself. So in between, anybody have any doubt, you may ask in the message or chat box, and then even though if you have a doubt, you can I will ask in between the class if you have any doubt or not. So at the time you can ask, use your mic, you can ask the doubt. Okay, so the today's session is all about like theoretical part only. What is machine learning, what is deep learning, and what is Python, and what are the packages are important to learn machine learning and deep learning, and as well as data science. Okay, so this is the overall today's class. Okay, so be with fresh mind. Okay, so this is an important class. Why? Because in this class I will show you everything, how to open Google Colab and how to use Google Colab, and how to import the data set, and how to write the code, how to run the code, like everything detailedly I will show you in this class. Okay, so tomorrow class and all just a technical part. Okay, at the starting time itself I will tell you the technical part, what we have to do, what is the problem in this scenario, what we have to do, those things and all. Okay, so let me enter into the session. Okay, so first of all, good evening to one and all. Okay, so here I am presenting now introduction to machine learning. So first of all, machine learning. Okay, so machine have to learn. So here what is machine? Machine is nothing but it's just like algorithms. Okay, So algorithms wants to learn something. How the algorithm wants to learn something based on the data, okay, based on the past experience or past data. Okay, so today I will teach you machine learning, deep learning. Okay, so just wait a minute. And before that, everything is clear. My voice is audible to all. Is it clear? You just send a message. That's enough. Don't need to use your mic also. I just need from your guys just acknowledgement. Am I audible to? Am I clear? My voice is clear. Anything noise is there? In message you can tell. It's clear. Yeah, fine. Okay. So fine, right? Okay. Any other doubt? Someone raised the hand. Okay, fine. So I will start the session. So introduction to machine learning right now. Okay. So here we have one simple explanation about what is machine learning. Okay. So as a human being, we will learn from the past experience. Okay. So based on the, for example, you can take a vehicle sounds. Okay. So if it is a motorcycle, based on the sound itself, you will comes to know it's a motorcycle. If it is a lorry, definitely you will know. Why? Because you are learning from the past, that is from childhood onwards you are hearing those sounds and all. Then you are collect some data, how the lorries will be there, how the bikes will be there, bike sounds will be there, like that, right? So based on the past data you learned something, then in now you are predicting, right? So it's a bike, it's a lorry, like that. So like same thing only, if you take into the machine will be follow some the instruction what we are given by a human. So you can take one basic example like COVID-19. So now current situation is COVID-19, right? So how they are checking the COVID-19 is positive cases or negative cases based on the some test, right? So as a test, based on the test, for example, if the person enter into the hospital, they will use check the weight, height, and then temperature of the person, how much, where is the pains and all is there. Okay, like that they are analyzing the patient, and then they are give the result whether the patient will be attacked by COVID or not, right? So this patient records will be definitely saved by that particular hospital. So you can take those records also, and you can train the machine. Okay, you can train the machine. Machine is here nothing but it's an algorithm. Okay, you can train the machine learning algorithms like random forest, naive Bayes, and decision tree. Okay, and even though we are having deep learning algorithms like simple artificial neural network, okay, we can train the algorithm and we can predict an output result, okay, whether the patient will be attacked by COVID or not. Okay, so like this the machine will be learned from the past experience, and then it will be give the current output prediction result. Okay, it's just a prediction only, not a like accurate. Okay, it's just a prediction. Okay, it may be or may not be, like that only. Okay, so here we have a definition. Machine learning is an applications of artificial intelligence that provides system the ability to automatically learn and improve from the experience. Okay, machine learning focus on the development of computer programs that can access the data and uses it learn for themselves. Okay, so here we are using AI, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. Okay, like this we are using some different types of words, right? But most probably, okay, most probably where it's come, okay, like definitely any one of the human will be know that machine can learn. Okay, machine can learn from the data, and the machine can give the prediction result. Okay, definitely some human will be have that thought. Then only they introduce it as an artificial intelligence computer or machine learning computer like that, right? So it started from the 1915 basically. Okay, so the computer scientist name is Alan Turing. Okay, so we have even the movie also. The movie name is called as a imitation game. So first he's the person started to train the machine, and he's the person tell to the world machine can learn and give some result. Okay, so machine can learn by machine itself. So he is the person first promoted this word artificial intelligence or machine learning anything, but he is the one of the person who started these things and all. Okay, so in 1915 itself, if you are free means you can watch even that movie also. The movie name is Imitation Game. I hope if you are computer science or IT background, or even though if you are a computer science background means definitely you guys will be know about this movie. Okay, so once you can watch it, it will be really helpful for you. So here you can see what is the main difference between machine learning and normal programming. Okay, so if you take a normal programming language, you have to give some rules. Okay, you have to give some rules, you have to give some instruction. Based on the instruction only we can get a result. Okay, but here machine can do the prediction result based on the data okay. So for example, here I can take the real-time example. Okay. For example, I am asking you to write the program, asking you to guys to write the program in like to calculate a program. Okay, I'm asking you to write a program in any language, C, C++, or Java, or Python, or Perl, any language. You have to write the program for calculator. Means definitely you can easily write the program like addition and then division, like that. You will write the program and you can easily implement it and you can get an output also. But suppose I am asking you to write the program for whether the Sachin will be play the cricket or not. Okay, so I am asking you to write the program whether the Sachin will play a cricket or not. So it's a difficult, right? So you need to you need to give an output as a prediction whether the Sachin will be play cricket or not. Okay, so at the time only we are going to use this machine learning technique and deep learning techniques and all. Okay, we need some prediction result. Okay, for example, in real time scenario, like we will take some weather forecasting. Okay, so we need to predict whether the cyclone will be affect the Chennai, or whether the cyclone will be more towards to the northern side or southern side, like that, right? So we need some prediction output result. So for that purpose only we need some past data. Okay, so for example, I asked the question you to write the program for whether the Sachin will be play cricket or not. Okay, you need some data. So what is the data means? You need some data related to bowlers and related to batsmen. Okay, related to all rounders. So based on the data, you can train the machine and you can get an output result. Okay, so what are the attributes? For example, if you take a Sachin Tendulkar, means he will score more, right? Out of he will score more runs and he will score more 50s and 100s. So based on that input, it will be give the result. Sachin is a cricket batsman, right? So like this, we can train the module and we can get an output result. Okay, so this is a simple thing. I don't want to prolong within this within this presentation itself. Okay, I will show you some visual experience like using paint. I will show you something, then you will be comes to know what the basic scenario of machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so let me see some of the application and we will be enter into that one. Okay, so here there's some real-time examples like Netflix, and then some other nowadays, okay, so Netflix or some other TV. So for example, why I am taking it as a Netflix means if you search for always, I think you will be search for a movie name, okay, whether this movie will be available or not. But you can search by using keywords also, like I need a romantic movie, or I need a science fiction movie, like that also you can search, means definitely you will be get an output result. So those searching result can be matched and give the output result and all done by a machine learning only. And then Facebook auto front tagging, based on your previous posting, it will be learned from the faces, that is it will be recognize your friends faces, and automatically it will be give the suggestion whether the person want to tag or not, right? So this is one of the real-time example. And then PayPal, PhonePe and Google Pay, like that, anything. And then Uber, Amazon, World Cup. Okay, so these are the area we are in real life scenario, we are using machine learning part. Okay, so in machine learning we have totally three types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Okay, so supervised learning and unsupervised learning is, first of all I will tell you, because reinforcement learning is somewhat different when we compare to supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So here you can take for example supervised learning. Okay, so supervised learning have a definition. In supervised learning, the goal is to learn the mapping between a set of inputs and outputs, right? In unsupervised learning, we have a definition like only input data is provided in the example. There is no labeled data. Example output to aim for. Okay, so in definition, based on the definition itself, you will be comes to know in supervised learning. Okay, in supervised learning, we are having an input and we are having an output. Okay, so as I said before, COVID-19 patient. So for example, if you need to train the algorithm whether the person, you need to predict whether the person will be attacked by COVID-19 or not, you need to give some data, right? So within this data itself, I need a past data, that is whether the person will be having an COVID or not. Okay, for example, you can give some inputs like to patient information, how much the weight, temperature, and blood pressure level, like something, and then you need to give even output also within that data set, whether the patient will be attacked by COVID or not, that is yes or no. Okay, so like this you need to train the machine learning algorithm. Okay, like this you need to train the machine learning algorithm. So this is called supervised learning. Okay, if you take a unsupervised learning, you just forget about this. Okay, you will be have a data, but you don't have exact output result. You need to predict some, you need to find out the n number of clusters. Okay, so here cluster means we will be use some different type of algorithm like k-means algorithm or hierarchical algorithm. Okay, based on that algorithm you need to find how many clusters are available in your data set. Okay, so this is the basic difference between supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Okay, so let me see one by one. So here it's a definition, supervised learning, and then here we have just a simple example. In picture you can see you will be have a data and you will be have a output. Okay, so I am training the model. Here model is nothing but algorithms. I am training the model by giving an input data as a, that is I'm training the model both input and output. Okay, so this is called supervised learning. So after that, I'm going to give the data, any data. For example, I'm giving here apple, then it will be give an output as apple. So for example, when I add here extra things like orange, okay, I'm giving here apple and orange to the model. So I'm in output column also, I will name it as a apple will be a like this attribute, and then orange will be a like this attribute. Okay, so then we can find out which one is this one. Okay, so that is called supervised learning. In supervised learning, we are having a classification and regression. Okay, so classification and regression. Classification is nothing but if you need to predict an output like good or bad, or 0 or 1, or yes or no. Okay, or binary type of classification. Any binary type of classification means you need to use this type of algorithm, classification algorithm. Suppose if you need to predict an output like weight, based on the height you need to predict the weight, or based on the area you need to predict the house price. Okay, so like that you need to predict some continuous type of value, means you need to use regression type of algorithm. Okay, so in supervised learning we have two types, classification and regression. The next one, we are having some algorithms of supervised learning like nearest neighbor algorithm, naive Bayes algorithm, decision tree, linear regression, and support vector machine, and then neural network. Then unsupervised learning. Okay, unsupervised learning, I already told you, you will train your machine without any labeled data. Okay, so here you can see I'm passing some data like circle, triangle, and then square. Okay, but I am not giving any output result. It's a circle. When you are having this like this attributes means this is a circle. When you are having like this means it's a triangle. Like that I am not giving any labeled data. Okay, but I'm directly give it to the model. The model will be learned from the attributes. Okay, then it will be give the cluster result. Okay, totally I'm having 3 clusters. So this is the output result of unsupervised learning, right? So here we are having totally 2 types. One is clustering and another one is association. Okay, so clustering is nothing but as we said now, the same thing only. It is clustering. Okay, association is nothing but whenever you need to like predict some, otherwise you need to recommend some data, means that is the use of this one. Okay, for example here you can see recommendation system, that is customer 1 buying a bread, milk, fruit and wheat. Customer 2 also buying bread, milk, rice and then butter. So here the 2 things is matched between customer 1 and customer 2. That is, if the customers buy their bread, they are ready to buy a milk. Okay, so based on this we are going to approach to the new customer. So it will be give the suggestion. If customer n customers will be buying a bread, means you will be get a suggestion, you need to buy a milk. Okay, so this is called as a unsupervised learning. Okay, so okay, so up to this it will be there. Okay, so now I'm going to Lakshman. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you what is the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning. Definitely will be have this question. Okay, what is the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning if you are new to this field means. So as I learned from 3 years experience, I am going to teach you. Okay, like what is the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so first of all, you have to, you already know what is machine learning, and we need to train the past experience and we need to predict an output result, those things and all, right? So like same thing only deep learning also. In my point of view, the machine learning and deep learning, okay, the machine learning and deep learning is same. Like we need to give some input data. Based on that input data, we need to train the algorithm. any model. Okay, it's a machine learning model or deep learning model. You need to train the model, then model will be predict an output result. Okay, if you take a supervised learning, we will be do like this one. Machine learning, you will train the input data, and then we will be predict an output result. But I told you a few minutes before, machine learning and deep learning are same thing, only machine learning, and we need to train the model, we need to predict an output result like this. Then what is the basic difference is the way of training. Okay, the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning is the way of training and the way of learning by using the data. Okay, so first of all, we will become on the left side of the machine learning side. Okay, here if you take a machine learning, generally it will be learned from, like, we will be have an algorithm like decision tree algorithm. So in name itself, we are having some suggestion, decision tree, making a decision. Okay, so it will be make some decision based on the input data, whether it's matched, it will be entered into the no. Then again, yes or no condition, those. This is one of the algorithm called as a decision tree in machine learning. And if you take another one algorithm, the algorithm name, most of the members will be here about that algorithm name. The name is support vector machine, SVM. Okay, so if you take a SVM algorithm, first of all, the data which we are having, we need to plot the data. So for example, I'm taking a positive data and negative data. Okay, so if you take a SVM, we have two thumb rules like hyperplane and then margin. Okay, so first I will plot the hyperplane, that is mean distance between these two clusters, and then I will be find the margin of the each cluster. Then I am going to predict an output result. Okay, so based on the support vector. Okay, so here my diagram is not a good, but margin, the main aim of margin is predicting the support vectors. After predicting the support vectors, based on the support vectors only, we are going to get a prediction output result, whether it's a positive side or whether it's a negative side. Okay, so this is called machine learning. Generally we will be have a lot of algorithm, but I am taking only two algorithms, and I just tell you overview how it's working. Okay, so based on the lines, or based on the regression line, or sub hyperplane, or yes or no condition, or cluster with yes or no condition, that is called random forest algorithm. Like that, it will be give the output result. It will be train the algorithm based upon these things. Okay, so that is generally called as a machine learning. But if you are taking, in other hand, deep learning, so it's totally different. Okay, so I hope everybody will know about deep learning. So if you are started to learn deep learning, means you definitely will be hear about the word neurons. Okay, neurons. So that is the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so the way of training the algorithm in machine learning and deep learning is different. Here we are using in deep learning neurons. Based on the training of neurons, we are getting an output result. How we can train the neurons means by creating some architecture of data. Okay, creating some architecture of data. For example, here you can see I'm creating one layer. Generally they will call as a layer. This layer is called as a input layer. Okay, so just for example, okay, so this is called as a input layer, and then we are having hidden layer. I'm taking it this one as a hidden layer, and then output layer. Okay, so this layer is called as a hidden layer, and then this layer is called as a output layer. Okay, so here I'm having an input layer, right? So I will pass all the input data to my neurons. For example, here I am taking it as a heart disease prediction or diabetes prediction, anything. So if we are taking those disease based means definitely we will have a report of the patient, right? So I will be transfer all the input reports like weight, height, and then blood pressure level and some information about the patient. I will pass to the neurons. All the vectors, generally they are called as a vectors. Okay, if it is a machine learning or deep learning, sorry, not a vectors, futures. Okay, all the futures I am passing into the input layer. Then based on this futures, I'm going to pass the future into the hidden layer. Okay, I'm going to pass the futures into the hidden layer. So each and every hidden layers will be connected with each and every input layers will be connected to the each and every hidden layers. Okay, so that is called fully connected layer. Generally we are giving input data, right? So input data will be have some values. Okay, so those values and then weight of the neurons and then bias of the neurons will be available. Okay, we need to sum all these three values, values and weight of the neurons, and then bias. Bias is nothing but it's just a small number, like some the main actually why we are using this bias and all. The main aim of deep learning algorithm and that is main aim of neurons is we need to predict an output result with non-linearity way. Okay, so that's why we are using those things and all. Here we can see we'll be have some lines, right? We'll be have some lines. So each and every line have some unique weight. Okay, so most of the lines will be have some unique weight. If the weights will be equal, some other lines will be a same weight means that one will be called as a generally collision. Okay, so here we will be have definitely some unique weights. Okay, so based on that unique weights, we will do some value and we will pass into the next layer. Next layer is output layer, and then I am going to predict an output result whether it's a heart attacked person or not, like that. Okay, so this is the general working of simple artificial neural network algorithm. Okay, so now itself we will be conclude that what is the main difference between machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so machine learning is different and deep learning is way of training is different. Okay, suppose if you have some doubt what is inside of the neurons, if you have a doubt means, yeah, actually I will tell you that also. If you take a neurons, for example, inside of the neurons, you will be have sum of all the values. So this one I already explained here, right? And then activation function. Okay, and then activation function. What is activation function? Activation function is nothing but like if you have a, that is, for example, if we have a different type of activation function, sigmoid activation function or tanh activation function and ReLU activation function. Okay, so we have a different type of activation function. For example, if you take a sigmoid, okay, we will be have like this. Okay, we have a sub curve. We need to predict an output 0 or 1 means you can take a sigmoid activation function. If it is a greater than 0.5, your output result will be a greater than 0.5. It will be predicted as a somewhere 1, otherwise 0. Okay, so inside of the neurons you will be have a sum of all the values, weight and bias with activation function. Okay, activation function is our wish only, which activation function we have to use, that is depends upon our data sets. Okay, if you want to predict like binary type of classification, you can use sigmoid activation function. If you want to predict multiple type of classification, you can use softmax like that. Okay, so what I told you up till now, that is called feed forward neural network algorithm. That is, it will be moves to forward, okay, like this. But we have even back propagation also. Okay, that and all I will explain you later, but this is the basic thing. Okay, machine learning and deep learning. So even though we are having some other things also, like if why we are enter into the deep learning, why we are not using machine learning means that is the base. Why? Because base data. Okay, data is one of the most important. So nowadays, if you are collecting any data, it should be a higher amount. That is some bigger amount of data. That is more than 15 GB or 1 TB, 2 TB like that, right? So if you increase the data, okay, your performance of the machine learning algorithm will be not a good. Okay, if you increase the data, the performance of the machine learning data will be a not good. So that's why we enter into the deep learning. So what is the disadvantages in machine learning? That is the advantage in deep learning. If you are increasing the data, it's performing a good performance. Okay, so that's why we are entering into the deep learning. But if we need to use deep learning type of algorithm, we need a GPUs. Okay, so graphical processing unit. Why? Because if suppose if you need to train the model like based on picture or any other thing, means you have to you need some GPUs. Okay, so then only it will be trained fastly and give the output result easily. If you don't have GPU, means it will be take with GPU also, it will be take for training a large amount of data, more than 1 week or 2 week or even 1 month also or year also. Okay, so that is the thing we are entering into the deep learning. Okay, so for example, about this deep learning, nowadays recently you will be here that you will be see the image in social medias. Okay, so that is generated by artificial intelligence. Some images will be there, some person's image, both male and female images. So those images will be look like real people, but that is generated by AI. Okay, so recently only you will be see about those images and all. So that and all is done by this model only. Okay, so the model is called as a GPT-3. Okay, GPT-3. So if you need even more information, you can search it in Google about this. Not only it will be generate the some images of human, it will be write even poem also. For example, if you need a poem related to nature, means it will be started to write the poem. Or if you need any other thing, for example, in Gmail, you are uh, composing any message. Okay, automatically it will be give the suggestion. Okay, so that and all done by like this deep learning model only. Okay, so this is what we are going in AI technology. Up to this, anybody have any doubt? You may ask using your comment section or chat box. Sorry, you can ask using your chat box or mic. Anybody have any doubt? If you don't have any doubt, you just send a message next. I will be move on to the next part. Anybody have any doubt? You may ask using your comment section or mic. If you don't have doubt, you just send a message next. I will be move on to the next part. How to open Google Colab, those things and all. Okay, so I didn't get any acknowledgement. Okay, fine. I will enter into the Google Colab, how to open Google Colab. But the last one is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is nothing but like it will be learned from the new ecosystem. For example, it's like a child. Okay, so we don't need to feed anything as a output data or input data, anything. Generally, if you are having any algorithm, you need to give the ecosystem, that is just you need to give some input data. Okay, so it will be take the data automatically, it will be uh, train the data. For example, you can take the games, Mario games or anything. Okay, so if you are playing the Mario games, okay, so if you are getting a correct, if you are going in a correct input, that is without touching any obstacles, if you are entering into the from source to destination, means it will be a positive rewards, right? Suppose if you are touching any obstacles in opposite side, means it's a negative rewards. So based on the rewards, it will be learned and try to build the model. Okay, so that is the use, that is called as a reinforcement learning. And even though we are having in deep learning like different type of algorithms, okay, like ANN, artificial neural network algorithm, and CNN, convolution neural network algorithm, and recurrent neural network algorithm. Okay, like this we are having some algorithms. We will be seeing one by one. Okay, so at coming days we will do definitely. So this is the thing I need to tell about introduction to machine learning. So I hope everybody will understood about this part. So I'm moving on to the next part. The next part is nothing but you just need to open your browser. Okay. For the next part, you just wanna open your browser. So please, if you have browser, yeah, definitely. Sorry about that. So open your browser and just log in with your any Gmail account. So after this, I'm in this next part of the session, I'm going to teach you how to use Google Colab. Okay, how to use Google Colab. For that purpose only, I want a browser. Okay, so just to open it. After that, you just wanna search it in Google search engine like this. Google Colab. Google Colab. Okay. So if you are familiar with Jupyter Notebook, or if you are familiar with Python IDLE, or if you are familiar with PyCharm, okay, you already know Python language means, that's fine. Okay, you can go with your IDLE. Okay, so if you are don't have any IDLE in your PC currently, means you can use Google Colab. It's a free open source. You can run your Python code within cloud itself. You don't need to install any packages also. Okay, you just open your Google Colab, means all the packages, basic packages will be available in pre-built. Okay, so you don't need to download the packages also. But if you are using this Anaconda Navigator, okay, here you can see I'm having Anaconda Navigator. So here, if you are familiar with Anaconda Navigator, you can use. But in Anaconda Navigator, if you need to open notebook file, means you have to use Jupyter Notebook in that one. Okay, so instead of that Anaconda Navigator only, we are using Google Colab notebook file. Okay, so first of all, you need to know what is notebook file. Notebook file is nothing but it's just a ideally. Okay, so you can run your program or execute your program cell by cell type. Okay, based on the cell, you can run your program and execute the program line by line, and you can get an output result. Okay, so here you can see, if you are having an Anaconda Navigator, you need to launch this notebook file. Okay, so this is generally called as a web-based interactive computing notebook environment, okay, you need to launch this notebook file. But definitely you guys will be have someone will be have this Jupyter notebook, someone will be may not have Jupyter notebook. So for that purpose only I'm going to use Google Colab. But notebook and notebook is common only, okay, the way of using is different. Okay, so you can use notebook in here also by using Jupyter notebook, or you can use Google Colab notebook also. Okay, so here I'm past next 5 days I'm going to teach you in this Google Colab only, so better you can see use this. Okay, so here I'm after searching into the Google in first link. Okay, so just to open your browser and Google Colab, sorry, just search it like this and you will be get a first link. Then after clicking the first link, it will be enter into the welcome to Collaboratory. Okay, so here you can create your new notebook file, new notebook file you can create. Okay, so this notebook file automatically saved in your drive, Google Drive. Okay, so what here you can see, if you click launch button, it will be enter into this. Okay, it will be enter into this, and then this is the Jupyter notebook, like same thing only here also you can create by using this notebook file. Okay, so you can use file, new notebook file, automatically it will be create a new notebook file in your browser. Okay, yeah, this is notebook file, untitled IPYNB file. Okay, Python notebook file. So I already told you it's a cell by cell type. You can run it like this. You can type the code and you can run one by one. Okay. So after you done this one, you just intimate me on chat box. It's done like that. Otherwise, I will move on to the next one. Up to this, anybody have any doubt how to open Google Colab?
No, sir.
No, thank you. Okay. Okay, so this is the notebook file. Okay, this file automatically saved in your Google Drive. Okay, whenever you need, you can retrieve the data. But if you are importing something using Google Colab, means there is some data set from your computer, means it won't be saved in your Google Drive. Okay, so here you can work like this. For example, I'm going to create a is equal to 10. It's a Python programming, and you can print directly by creating it. So here you can see I just typed a code is equal to 10. You can run the code by you clicking this icon. Suppose if you need shortcut key for this, we have shortcut key. Okay, so to run the cell, you have a shortcut key Shift plus enter. Shift plus enter, and then if you need any suggestion from the ideally you need to use control plus space. Okay, so suppose you need to import the package name is called as a like numpy, you can use like this import. See here I'm getting some suggestion here, import like this. Then I need some suggestion from I need to import numpy. Okay, I just typed the n and I am using control space and getting an output numpy as np like this. Okay, so that is the use of this control plus space button. Okay, so this is the way you can work on it, and then after you done this one, you can run this cell and then create a new cell. If you want to print, you can print it. Okay, so this is the way you can do with your notebook file by using Google Colab notebook file. Okay, so I hope this will be definitely uh, understandable. Okay, so now I am going to show you some other important things, that is the packages for machine learning and deep learning. What are the packages you need to learn and what are the important packages you need to know. Okay, so first the package name is called as a NumPy. NumPy is used to like numerical calculation. Okay, something you need to create using array value or matrix multiplication or some other mathematical calculation means you need to use this NumPy. And you will be have a package like pandas. Pandas is nothing but generally its data type is called as a like data frame. Okay, so generally it's used to read some data set. Okay, so if you are want to develop any model using machine learning algorithm, most of the data set will be available in the form of CSV file, comma separated value file. So if you need to read that CSV file means you have to use this package. Okay, not only this file, you have like pandas, like text file or JSON file, any file. Okay, so that is the use of this one, pandas. Then you will be have another one package. The package name is called as a NLP, natural language processing. Okay, so if you have a data in the form of text type, okay, so generally if it is a numerical type, definitely algorithm will learn and then give the prediction output result. Suppose if you have a text type, you have to like you have to convert those, you need to do some pre-processing, okay, to convert your text type into an numerical type or vector form. Okay, so for that purpose, for text pre-processing, generally use it for NLP. Okay, so they will call as a even NLTK, natural language toolkit. Okay, so generally text pre-processing will be called as a NLP. Okay, and tools, the package which I am using here is called as a NLTK, natural language toolkit. Language toolkit. Okay, so for text type of data, suppose if you have a data in the form of picture, okay, we need to do some process with the pictures means you have to use the package name is called as a OpenCV, Open Computer Vision. Okay, so this is the package for analyzing the image. And suppose if you need to draw some graphs, okay, plot some graphs or like doing some visualization process like pie chart, like those things means you need to use package like matplotlib and Seaborn. Okay, so to visualize your data result, okay, graph, generally for plotting a graph. Okay, so these are some of the basic packages you need to use. You need to do some processing. Okay, so NumPy, Pandas, natural language processing, and then OpenCV, and then Matplotlib and Seaborn. Okay, so that are some basic packages to do some pre-processing. To do some manipulation of your data. Okay, suppose for example, if you need to train the model or if you need to do some pre-processing to your model means you have to use one of the most important package called as a scikit-learn. Scikit-learn. Okay, so this is generally used for machine learning purpose. If you want to implement machine learning algorithm, or if you want to do some pre-process with machine learning algorithm, means you need to use scikit-learn. Okay, or also called as a sklearn. Okay, so this is one of the package. And then if you need to use deep learning type of thing, means if for beginner you can use Keras and TensorFlow. Okay, so this is easy way to generally Keras is used for like building your machine learning model, like input layer, hidden layer, that is building your architecture of your algorithm, like how many layers you need and how many input layers you need, like that. If you want to build means using Keras, and then TensorFlow is the backend. Okay, so you need these two for performing the deep learning type of algorithm. Deep learning. Okay, so these are the packages you need to learn if you need to do some process with machine learning and deep learning or data scientist. Okay, so these are the basic packages. I think everything is I covered, and apart from this, anything I missed means I will tell you on the session time. Okay, so up to this, anybody have any doubt regarding these packages? Means you may ask using comment session. Using your chat box, you may ask your queries. I will explain you. Okay, I think nobody have. Okay, so this is the basic thing. So if you wanna do these things, that is, if you wanna working with NumPy, or if you wanna working with Pandas, NLTK, or OpenCV, you have to know. You need to, if you wanna interact with these packages, you need to know some language, right? So here, for that purpose, I'm going to use Python. Okay, Python language. So Python, definitely nowadays most of the persons will be know what is the Python and what is the use of Python language. But I just to give some overview of the Python. Okay, so basically the Python is a high level language, an interpreter, an interactive and object oriented scripting language. Okay, so why we are telling this Python is an interpreter language means, so Python is processed at a runtime itself. Okay, so apart from any other programming language like Perl or Java, okay, it will be give the, that is, it won't need to compiler. Okay, so you can program before executing it. That is, if you take a Java language, you need some JDK, Java Development Toolkit. You need to install that tool, and we need to compile. We need to convert our Java file into a .class file and bytecode, and then after that we need to do some process. But here the Python is not like that. It's an interactive. Okay, you can actually sit at the Python prompt and you can do whatever you need. Okay, so here also you can see previously I done a is equal to 10 without I am initializing what is the data type, like Java. Okay, I directly use a is equal to 10 without mentioning what is the data type. Okay, so these are some of the easy, some of the most advantage of Python language. Okay, so generally it's an object oriented type of language, programming language, and then it's mostly the language will be used for beginners. Okay, so those who are struggling to learn Python language, you can easily learn this Python. and then you can do whatever you need. Okay, so the basic features of Python is like easy to learn and easy to read, and even though easy to maintain. Okay, so we don't need different type of files, and you don't, if you want to run the any project or any project related things, means you don't need any other extra packages. Okay, you can easy to maintain. Okay, then it's a have some standard library. Okay, and then it will be have a both interactive mode also. You can use interactive mode or debug mode also. Okay, so here you can open Python. I already have ideally. Here you can see, so you can do this mode also. Okay, so you can directly type the code a is equal to 10, and then you can print the a. This is the interactive mode, or you can having even debugging mode also. Okay, so you can create a new Python file, new file. Okay, so this is Python file, you can save this file and you can run the file. Okay, so we have database. So for database we are having like SQLite or SQL anything. If you need to perform GUI also, you have options like, just wait a minute, I forgot to tell this about, if you need to create any GUI also, you have options like, if you need to do any desktop application, you will be have like packages tkinter. Okay, so like this is one of the library package. Okay, generally if you need to create a desktop application, so what I am telling here, this and all basic things. Okay, so if you, we will be have some advanced thing, advanced packages also. For example, you can take web application. Okay, you can take, if you want to develop a web application, you will be have some micro, that is, if you need to create a simple web application, means you can use the framework called as a Flask. It is a simple framework. Okay, you can create a web application like using HTML file. You can dump your model and you can run the model using web application, and you can build the model. Okay, so that is simple. Okay, you can easily create the Flask and you can do whatever. This is generally called as a micro framework. Okay, but if you want to develop somewhat your website want to look like a professional, that is, your website want to look a rich look. Okay, you can use the framework called Django. Okay, it's a most complex one. Okay, so working with Django is most complex one. So like that, what I am telling here, it's all our easiest packages only. You can learn with those things. Okay, after your learning, you can go with some advanced package. For example, here I said for beginners you need to use Keras and TensorFlow. Okay, after you learn this Keras and TensorFlow, you can go with like PyTorch. Okay, so PyTorch is some of the advanced technique, advanced framework. Okay, so for web application you can use Flask and Django. For desktop application you can use tkinter, like this and all. Okay, so that one I forgot to tell. So now you can remember, you can memorize it. Okay, so these are the things we can do with Python languages only. So that's why I told you Python is one of the most important language. So nothing to worry. If you don't have Python, you can use this Google Colab. Okay, so no need to install the Anaconda Navigator or any other ideally. If you have, means you are already familiar with those things, means you can work on it. Okay, it's not a problem. But next 4 days I'm going to teach you in these things only. Okay, so I will create some code. Okay, for example, uh, how to run execute I already told you, but once I will show you with even Python basics also. Okay, so first of all you need to know like some basics. Okay, so if you take a Python language, like you need to know some what is variables. Okay, so variables and all definitely. So generally if you are taking this line here, a is my variable. Okay, so if we need to save any data, you need to create some new variable. So that is variable, and then you need to know about keywords. Keywords are reserved words, already reserved type of words. So generally keywords, you can't use those keywords for variables. Okay, so that is one important thing. And okay, so I will show you some basic thing. If you wanna print any string, you can use like this. Print I. Okay, so you can use even double quotes also. I. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I need to tell about this also. For example, here I'm using capital P. I'm getting an error. Okay, so here you can see if you are getting any error in your ideally or in your notebook file, you will be like this only. Okay, so like this print is not defined, like this only you are getting an error. Okay, so I just want to show you how you, if your code is wrong means how you will be get an error. Okay, so that's why I showed you this one, but here I used a capital P. Okay, so print high. Suppose for example you can see here a is equal to 10. I am sorry, for example I am assigning here uh, b is equal to 15. Okay, I am just typed the code and then next I am trying to print the code. Okay, just today I will just show you some basics thing, but tomorrow onwards I will start the uh, machine learning and deep learning and all. Okay, so just check it out. Some basics of Pythons and all you will be learn from yourself itself. Why? Because 4 days is not enough to learn machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so I will directly enter into the machine learning tomorrow onwards, and I will update you what is the data set you have to use and what type of data set and all after enter into the meeting. Okay, for example here I am printing the b, so I am getting an error, name error. Okay, so if you are getting name error means here you can see name b is not defined. So where we defined our b? Here. So whenever you are doing anything in your notebook, don't forget to run that cell. Okay, so then only you will be get an output what you are looking. So that is one thing. So if you are getting anywhere not defined error means you are not running your cell previously. Okay, so that is why. Suppose if you are again getting not defined error means check the spellings. Okay, so that is what I need to tell you about this one. And then we can print like this, or we can save the, this is actually we only saved, right? How that is b is equal to 15. If you need to print like this also, you can print. Number is suppose you need to save at real time, that is user as a user input means you can do like this also. Here I'm creating one new variable, user is equal to input then I'm assigning here enter the value. Okay, enter the value. So when I execute this cell, automatically it will be asked enter the value. Then I will enter the value, for example 34. Okay, so now my 34 will be saved in user variable. Suppose if I need to add this b and user means I will create like this. I will create c is equal to b plus user. Okay, then I will print the output result C. Okay, so if I run this cell, I will get an error. Okay, so what is the error means? Type error. So see guys, first of all, whenever you are learning any programming language or any uh, other languages also, even HTML or anything, okay, HTML is not a language. Whenever you are learning anything, okay, so you have to learn from the errors, okay. So that is what still I am also doing, okay. So first of all, you need to memorize the error, okay. So whenever you are getting type error, whenever you are getting name error, what you have to do, that one you have to within second you have to think, okay. So for example, here I am getting previously getting name error. So name error we understood why we are getting name error and what is the problem in that. So now I am getting a type error. So what is the type error? Unsupported operand type. So for plus. Okay, supported operand type means here I am getting int and string. So whenever you are getting like this int and string and supported operand error, what you have to do? You have to check your operands data type. For example, I am checking the type of my B. So I am getting the type integer type. So when you are checking the type data type of your user, you will be getting str. Okay, so here that's why we are getting an error. So one variable is in integer data type, another one is in string data type. So that's why it's not adding. Okay, so whatever you are that here what you have to learn means one is type error. Okay, so when you are getting type error, you have to do change your operand data type. That one you have to learn. And another one thing is whenever you are giving any input by using this input default function, your input will be saved as a string type only. Okay, suppose you need to convert this string type into an integer type means you have to use int. That is, you have to use the data type name is called as a int. Okay, so how you need to give the how you need to save the integer type means by giving an like this. Sorry, just wait a minute. So I am getting an input, and after that I am saving my input in integer. Whole input in integer. Okay, so I am running it again and asking the values. Then I am giving 23. Then clicking enter. Okay. Now if I check the data type of my user, I will be get an output integer type. So now B also integer type only, and then C or sorry user also integer type only, right? So when now if I run this line, I will be get an output result. So here what we learned. So this and all we already know. Okay, converting our type conversion we already know. Data types also we already know. Okay, and definitely yeah, nowadays most of the students will be know some programming language. So everything we know. But here what we learned, yeah, two errors we learned. Okay, name error and another one error, this error. Okay, so that one is important for us. Okay, so always learn from the errors. So up to this, anybody have any doubt? You may ask using your chat box. Okay, finally, I will just give the demo of local variable and global variable. Definitely, you guys will be know about local variable. In MHL, we are having a suggestion. Global variable means we can use whenever we need. But global variable, sorry, but local variable means you need to use within that function only. Okay. So here I am going to show you how the local variable and global variable is working. So first I am creating a one variable name. in that variable name, I'm saving the string like global. Okay. Then I'm going to create a new function. Whenever you are creating your user defined function, you have to use the name def. Then I'm going to create a new, that is function name. New is the function name. And then I am using a is equal to same variable in which we are created for global. Here I'm using local. Okay. Then after this, I'm closing this function. Okay. So this space is called as an indentation space. Whenever you want to open any for loop or if loop or function, you have to use, if you just click the enter means automatically it will be leave the space. Okay. So that is, if you need to close the function, you have to erase this space. Okay. Now I am going to print the a here, and then I'm going to print call the a. It is I'm going to call the function and I'm going to print the a here. So how it's working, just to see. So global, it's printing first. I'm calling the a. So it's not checking this and all. Within this definition function, what is a? Local. So local I'm getting. And after this, print the a. So outside of the function. So I'm getting a global. Okay. So like this, the basic difference between local variable and global variable. So that's it about. Anybody have any doubt up to now? Not only this programming language, I am asking about even how to open Google Colab. Everybody is clear means tomorrow you can directly open Google Colab. Whenever I'm starting the class, you just to open it directly, and we don't need to waste our time. Okay, so just to open it directly, and then we will be do some projects based on machine learning and deep learning. Okay. So that's it about today's session. If you have any doubt, you may ask.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. We all enjoyed the presentation, sir. Can you please spare some time for Q&A session, sir?
Yeah, that's right. Definitely.
Okay, sir. What is K in the K nearest neighbors algorithm?
What is the K?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so K is nothing but whenever you are training any, that is K is nothing but clusters. For example, if you are taking an one data set, okay, for example, if it is an unsupervised learning type of data set means we don't know what is the output column. Okay, so we need to find the output column. So how we can predict the output column is by using clustering type. So for example, if we take heart disease prediction data set means what is the main aim, whether the person will be attacked by heart disease or not. So here K is nothing but 2, that 0 or 1, K is equal to 2. So that is generally called as a K.
Okay, sir. And second question, how do you calculate linear regression?
Linear regression. Actually,
Yes.
it's based on the slope of the line, y is equal to mx plus c. So based on the line formula and based on the data, okay. So based on the data, we are going to find the mean distance between the two clusters. So that is the use of that one.
Here comes the last question, sir.
Okay.
Deston A 18 BM COF 55 for face recognition. What should we use, either machine learning or deep learning, sir?
1 second, ma'am.
DENISTON Deniston A 18 BM CO 55 for face recognition. What should we use, either machine learning or deep learning?
Face recognition, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the DNSTN? I didn't get you.
Actually, I'm not sure about that. Some of the students had mentioned in their comments, sir.
Comment session. Okay, so I don't know about exactly. I didn't get that word, but basically, face recognition means we will go into a deep learning convolution network algorithm, or you can use that one algorithm. But we can go with even machine learning algorithm also. Okay, but most probably, if you need accuracy score, means you can go with deep learning type of algorithm. You will be get a better accuracy.
Okay, sir, thank you. Well, time to express our gratitude towards our beloved chairman, Dr. Babu Manoharan sir, Mr. Sasi Shekhar sir, and our principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran sir, and our HOD, Dr. G. Nana Kausalya ma'am, and our lab HOD, Rohini ma'am, for organizing this webinar series. Thank you for all your patience, listening, and active participation. The next session will begin on informed shortly. Thank you all. Thank you, sir,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
sharing your valuable time with us.
Yes, yes. Thank you all. And be with fresh mind for tomorrow's session. It's fully technical oriented only. And then we practice with this Google Colab. Okay. So if it is a new means, and if it is if you already know about Jupyter Notebooks, that's fine. But if you don't know about even Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab means, you just be practice with Google Colab. And tomorrow we are going to see how we can train the machine learning algorithm and how we can train the some other how we can use some other packages like pandas, numpy, those things. Okay, so thank you all, and thank you for this wonderful webinar on machine learning, and thank you for this conducting to respected college and then faculty members and then students. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.